Hello friends, my name is Amit Grover. I'm working with Alliance Infotech. I'm here to showcase Alliance Arcane, a comprehensive system designed for security agencies to keep a tab on suspect. The system allows you to record all calls, SMS, or fax sent or received by suspect using GSM, landline, or IP phones. Here's how the system works. So this is how the system is going to look like. Now the same system has been used on the screen to investigate, given to the investigation officer, and once you use the user ID and the password, only then you can access the system. So it records the conversation and cannot be tampered or manipulated. So I'm going to let you know how the complete system and the complete system works, basically, because it's been deployed for different police in different phases with different kind of instances. Now this is how the system looks like. If you see the navigation pane, there are many things within the navigation pane, like user management, record management, stations, channels, reports, set alerts. You can set alerts within it. So there are many things within it. The system maintenance, and each of these instances has got its own unique preposition within the system. You've also got view channel stations, so where you can view different channels, online monitoring, groups, view old records, view user activities. So each of the activities can be monitored within the system. The system has also got other features within it. Let me expand a bit so that I can explain you better. It's got the system settings, view missed calls, show alarm windows. So all these identities, all these what I would say is the unique features within the system it's got. Beyond it, there's another pane within it that shows about the live status of the system. Now this system talks about the channels, the tapping name. Let me show you. Here's the channels. The channels are got different colors to identify individual user who's sitting on the channel. Then there's a tapping name, which talks about the name who's sitting on that specific channel. This is a number also. We have changed the name so that it becomes easy to identify. There's a duration, the voltage, just to make sure that it's got the right voltage so that the tapping can happen. The status information, which is very important. Is it right now working? Green shows working, so somebody is talking right now here. So that's more about the live status. It gives you the live status of the system as to how it is going. Beyond it, let me tell you more about the system at the bottom, what it is all about. So it is all the recordings that are happening. I'll click on one here. If you see this, anything that is going up green is the recording is happening right now, and once the recording ends, it comes down here. So you see all the files that are green up will come down once it ends. So it has got a start time, you can see it here, the end time, channel number, which is the same as above, so the same channel is going to come down, the tapping number. We have changed the name number, as I said, in order to give it an easy reference. So you see the channel tapping name there, up as well as down. Then the calling party number. That's very important as to who is calling up. Is it an inbound call or an outbound call? So there would be some calls which are coming in or going out. If you can see it here, it's a combination of both the calls are recorded, outbound as well as inbound. So the incoming calls are inbound, what I'm calling it as. So the called party number, if I'm calling from my own phone, there's a called party number also that has been tabbed as to whom am I dialing, if I'm being spy, if I'm the suspect. So the system takes care of recording all the instances. Let me show more as to what all things are there beyond it. Now if you see the incoming call, okay, let me try to choose some other instance so that it becomes all the more interesting for you. I'm just going to play one message, so one recording, and it'll automatically update the last access at. See, I'm playing this voice message right now, which has been recorded, and the moment I press, you see the last accessed at changes. It takes the time, which is the current time. So I'm going to stop it and I'm going to show you more. Just give me a moment. Now here you see I'm logged in as an admin, so I show up as an admin here, and I accessed it at 1:20 p.m. So that's what it says. The moment I clicked to listen it, it takes the time, it takes who actually accessed it at the very moment. So that's what the system is logged completely. The duration of the call, it shows up as to how long the call was when it was made. Digits collected, at times it happened like the guy who's actually making a call is calling a bank, he's giving out the information of his credit card or debit card. Even those cards numbers are logged, so you get to know everything about him. Access count, it shows me as to how many times you have listened to the voice file. So the more you listen, the count will increase. Now let me tell you about the backup time and the restore time. The backup time is where you actually back up the complete system, and it takes that time. The restore time is when you actually get the backup restored into the system to listen to the file. So that's about the system. Now let me tell you about the filters here, which we call it as enable filters in between. So this is a complete set of filters on which you can see, because right now you see 96 records are there in the system based on these dates, which is 18th, one day. Okay, now it is more than that, so you cannot view all the files in one go. So there are certain filters that we have added. Now if you see right now, I'm changing the date and showing it. It's showing me right now 2,785 records in total. I can change all the more things to find all the records here. Now that's what is the beauty of the system. If you want to get onto a specific record, you choose the time frame, or you choose the duration of the call, you choose anything. Based on that, the call will come at the bottom. See, we have filtered it. Now similarly we've got different things here. There are pages, so you can traverse the pages based on it shows a set of 50 recording in one page, so keep adding the page and you can go to the next page. Similarly, there's an option below my cursor which says go to page. You can go to a specific page if you want to. I'm just going back to the first page. Now it also has an option where you can listen to call and enable filter, enable groups, evaluate on various different grounds that are available into the filter option, and can select a specific set of recording based on now I'm going to select the channel 10, so that you see how I can see all the recordings under the channel 10. See, at the bottom I see the channel number, which is 10, and I've set the date as a specific date within 18 days from 1/4/2013 till 18/4/2013 on the channel number 10. All these are there. We can also set the remarks. We can check on the basis of remarks that are there. So there are various filters based on clip, call, party, digital, number, whatever, different parameters. You can select a specific group of calls and identify the right one that you need to actually look into. I'm putting it back and showcasing you what exactly I have on the system. Now I'm displaying everything on the channel number 0 that's there. So I'm coming on to what exactly in order to showcase you a system that actually is voice as well as SMS. So this volume, when you see the volume button, voice button, in fact the speaker, this shows there's a voice recording, and then just below it, if you see that's an SMS. Now what you can do is you can record the SMS also beyond the voice. So I'll just click on it to showcase. Now here it comes. If you see at the top, there is a date. Okay, below that is where the message is from. That shows the number, from where you're getting the SMS, and below that is the matter, what has been passed on to you. So that's how it records the SMS as well. So the same system is recording the SMS that is coming out to a specific GSM chip. Okay, now I'm coming back to showcase you another thing. Let me scroll down a bit. So here, do you see something which is a fax kind of a button? So this shows that there's a fax recording that has happened here, and you can see the fax that has been tabbed. Let me open it for you. Here I go, play, and that brings the page. So this is the fax that has been sent by the person who's a suspect, and you can see the fax as what has been sent out or received, and act accordingly. So basically the system allows you to record the fax as well, which has been sent or received by the suspect. Let me get back. Now these are the basic monitoring tools. Let me get on to the reports now in the navigation pane. The reports gives you different kind of reports from a specific date to a specific date. Now let me get a summary report for you from 17th till 18th, and here it comes. The system allows you to see the complete reports as to how many calls are made in total, and what all ports are, from which port to which port, from which date to which date, and it gives you a complete comprehensive report as to how many calls are made in total. So that you can actually get to know that who's making calls, how many calls are being made. It gives you a summary basically of all the kind of, and every page gives you a detailed report on it. So this is something that you can carry along when you have to discuss it in detail. Take a print shot or export it to a file. Let me tell you how to export it. The moment you click here, a button, you have options to export it in PDF, XLS, doc file, RTF. There are various different options that you can take a file along with you and can present it further. Now I'm gonna go get over with it and show you another part, which is detailed report. Now when you go to get into the detailed report, it gives you a detailed calling report of any specific port. So when you see the complete detail here, it gives you an option of time, what time it starts, tapping number, port number, calling number, call party number, duration, call type, everything, so that you get to know what all things are there. It's an incoming call or an outgoing call, stuff like that. So you get a detailed report. And similarly you get port wise, data wise, phone wise, call type wise, all these are the list of various different type of reports within the group as to how you want to actually what kind of report do you need. So we have designed it precisely based on police. So these all are the port utilization wise, all kind of reports as required by the police. I'm just gonna get over with this reporting side. Let me get on to the next phase of it, where we take the data backup. Now if you see, there are three kinds of data backups at the bottom. If you see, so one is backup, one is purge, and another one is archive. So when we get on to backup, it takes a backup of the system completely, and there's a copy that creates. So you don't touch the database that is there within the system. When you purge it, you actually delete it. You delete the complete file, and there's nothing that is there in the hard disk. We typically do not offer this to our police customers. We typically give it to other services, but then for you the purge would not be an option. But then archive, yes. So in archive, what you do is a database is there, and a copy of the database is at the back. So once you create a copy, the database of the Arcane will get deleted automatically. So you have the date option, from a specific date to a specific date. You can do a backup or archive, not the purge, because that's not going to be an option for police. Let me get on to the next page here. Next option, or features should I say. So the same way you can restore a file as well. If you have already created a backup, you can bring it back, restore it into the system so that you can listen to it. So because you'll get a pile of recording that will happen, so you keep making a database at the back, you keep creating backups for it. So that's how typically it works. And here it's going to show up the moment the backup or the restore is going to happen. At the bottom, like I showed you earlier, it's going to show up here under the recording side. Now that's how, I mean, it's been built in such a fashion to facilitate every need and requirement of police. Now let me show you the set alert option. Alert option typically is to let you know whenever anything happen. Let's assume you can put a alert when any call comes from a specific number, so the alert may be of different types. Again, one is enable file alert, the another one is enable SMS alert, and the third one may be enable dial out alert. Now I'm just going to put in a fancy number, which is a vague number right now, and tell you how the system works. Now let's assume if there's an alert and I enable the file alert, the prompt will happen if any call comes or goes out. And if it is an SMS alert, an SMS would go automatically to a specific number that a call is happening, and you can come down and listen. The third option of alert is enable dial out alert, where I may be out of office. I'm still getting a call from the system that the call is happening, so I can indicate someone in the office, which is an investigation officer, to look into the system, and the call is right now happening, and let me know what is the status. So that's kind of alert system that system has, so that any point of time anything is happening, you can you get to know only at the very moment. So I'm just you can choose any one of these are all buttons. I'm just gonna get out of it and show you something. There's another option where the dial out option is also there, so you can punch in the numbers here as to which number to dial. Typically you can feed in once and then that's going to happen. Let me get on to another feature that we've got. Import telephone directory. So here you can import a directory, naming them as to who is the person that you're spying upon, just to give a vague number, instead of it's not that easy to actually always keep a tab of the number that you are recording. So instead you can name him as suspect 1, so that becomes easy, or you can name him with his own name as well, so now to be very precise. So you can import a complete directory of people that you're spying upon, and with that name it's going to happen like we've already done it in the current scenario. We have named it 701 Amit 702 whatever. You can name it yourself, similar fashion. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you, you see it here. We've got 701 Shobhit. There are different names. Now coming on to the filters that we have, this activity page basically is talking about all the activity that we have done today. Alright, so being an admin, I can track down all the activities that has been done on the system. So I've shown you the fax. I opened the fax, so it tells you that I've opened the fax. It tells you that I've listened to the call, right? It tells you everything that I've done on the system by logging into the system. So basically it's creating a log of everything that I do once I'm there in, so that I cannot manipulate anything here. I showed you the report, like I said. I showed you, I played a file, so everything has been recorded within the time span, and anybody can filter any point of time as to what exactly happened on the system. Now this is the kind of system that we've made. Now let me tell you more about the system. Let me scroll a bit down. I have covered Arcane. I've covered basic modality of the system, and you can see the name and the numbers that are there, who are the people, as we've already using the directory here. Thanks for taking out time to view the presentation. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email me at amit.grover@alliance, ALLIANCE -infotech.com.